Hi book besties, today we are going to do something really fun. We are going to make a tier list of every book that I've read so far in this year, and the counter is on 53 books. So I read a lot of books in the last few days to get on schedule with my reading challenge. But yeah, first things first, I wanted to do this with all the 5 stars. Like all the books that I gave 5 stars from the last 2 years, but then I realized that I would not be able to give these a ranking, because if they are 5 stars for me, I will put them on the highest ranking, so I did not want to do that. So then I decided to do it with all the books that I've read so far this year. But then I realized that a lot of people already posted this, so I'm sorry, but I'm still going to post it and try to do this. I already tried this like an hour ago, but the screen recording didn't work out, and all the photos and all the text were like mixed, and it was one big mess. So I hope that this is working better. First things first, the rating. So the highest category is You Own My Heart. Like, these books have the spark for me and are everything to me. Then I have I Liked You, I Think About You very often, like all the books that I still think about. If they own my heart, I will also think about them, but if I don't own my heart but I still think about them, these are the books that are going to go in this category. Then I have A Good Book, Didn't Hate But Didn't Love. Like mostly all the average books that I didn't really dislike, but also didn't really love. And then I have I Kind of Want to Lower My Rating, because the more I think about the book, the more I want to lower my rating. Like if I gave a book 3 stars, but I kind of want to lower them to 2 stars, or 2 stars that I want to lower to 1 star, but I don't give books 1 stars, because I give books that I did not finish 1 star, and the thing in my mind is that I cannot not finish a book, if that's a correct sentence. And then the last category is Not For Me, sadly. These books weren't for me. Let's just start with the first one, and the first one is Throttled, and it's the first book in the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. And we're gonna start strong. It's a good book, but I didn't really, I don't think about them still. But it's the first book in a series, and it sets like the atmosphere and you get to know the characters. So it's a good book. It's a quick read. It's a fun read, it's a cute read, it's cool. And I have Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. It's the first book in the series, so it's a good book. Didn't really love it, but I also didn't hate it. I gave this like 4 stars and Throttled 2. So these are amazing books. Okay, it's not going to balance, so if my laptop flies off my leg, you know why. Then I have The Frontrunner by Elsie Silver, and if you know one thing about me, it's that I'm obsessed with The Frontrunner, so they own my heart. Redeemed, same. These 2 books, literally beautiful to me. Wrecked by Lauren Asher is book 3 in the Dirty Air series. I like them, and I still think about them, but they don't have the spark for me. Like, that book doesn't have the spark. Then I have Out of the Gate by Elsie Silver. It's the novella from Gold Rush Ranch series, like the same series as Off to the Races. And it's book 1.5, and the male main character of Out of the Gate is the grandfather of the male main character from book 1 and book 2. Isn't really necessary to read, but if you read it, then it's fun and you'll like it. Probably. I don't know, I did. So I'll also just put it here. Then King of Slot by Anna Huang. Sometimes I have to take a minute to remember what the books were about, because the minute I finish a book and start a new one, I forget what they were about. But I think that's pretty common. But I'll also put it here because I don't really remember much, but it was a good book. But it didn't, like, I don't think about them, so it doesn't have to be here, if that makes sense. Love Unwritten, easy choice, You Own My Heart. Amazing. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez is the first book in the Part of Your World series. It's not really a series, it's like interconnected standalones. And it was, again, really good book to like get in the atmosphere. You don't get to know the other characters though, like you get to know one, but I don't think that any of the other characters that you see in this book you see in the other books. But yeah. Then I have A False Start by Elsie Silver, and it's book 4 in the Gold Rush Ranch series. Definitely liked You, Still Think About You, but didn't have like the spark of Owning My Heart. Then we have If Love Had a Price from Anna Huang. And this series, I feel like maybe I'll get attacked for this, but this series wasn't for me. Like every book in the series, I read them all. They just weren't for me. So I think this is book 3 in the series, yeah. And let's just say, not for me. Lovely Designs by Lauren Asher, also Own My Heart. Like these two books, Lovely Designs and Love Unwritten, I remember when I started reading these books, I was texting my friend and could not shut up about them. So I mean, that says enough. Maybe Meant to Be. The thing is, again, it was a quick read. But I don't really know what it was about. I think it was like about two best friends, and everyone thought that they would end up dating, but they weren't. Maybe I'm thinking about lowering my rating because I gave it like 3 stars, I think. But it doesn't really deserve 2 stars. So I don't want to lower my rating. So I'll just put it there. Then I have A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, and it's about book 2 in the Gold Rush Ranch series. Again, still think about them so often. Again, this series, Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver, is so underrated and I don't see anybody talk about them, and it's so confusing me because all of these books were amazing. Then The House Across the Lake. I had such high expectations, but I don't know, maybe it was because I didn't know what to expect, like the writing style. But I gave it 3 stars. And I don't know if that's a good score. I read it like in the beginning of the year. So maybe that's why I kind of don't want to know where to put that. I'll just put it here, and maybe at the end of the video I'll just rearrange some things. Heartstopper book 5. Also a quick read. Like I read this in maybe 2 hours. That's the thing about graphic novels. They read so easily and so fast that you can read like... It's so fun to read a graphic novel. You can just shut your mind off and read and enjoy the time. Also, fun fact, Heartstopper were like the first books kind of that got me into reading. I remember going downstairs like 2 years ago and asking my mom, should I buy like all of these books? And she was like, yeah, you should. If you're going to read them, you should buy them. And I was like, I'm not really a reader though. Well, look at me now. So these got me into reading. Amazing. Then Hate Didn't Love. Yeah. The Do-Over. I had no expectations for this book, but it was really great. And The Love Wager, the same. No expectations, but I remember sending my friend a Snapchat saying like, every book that you don't have high expectations from, or like don't know what you're getting yourself into, are such a good books. And I don't know, it's still in my mind like that, so I'll also put it there. Funny Story, Oh My Heart, amazing. If the Sun Never Sets by Anna Huang. I think it's book 2 in the If Love series. Again, sorry, but not for me. Then The Housemaid, I finished this yesterday, and I thought that I would know the plot, like I thought I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't, so that's a positive. I don't really think about them very often, mostly because I just finished them. So I'll also just put it here. Checkmate, the same. It was a fun read, but it's nothing. I feel like maybe I mean when I say some things like this. It was a fun read, it's a good book, but I don't really think about them anymore. If We Ever Meet Again by Anna Huang, not for me. Sorry, but I feel like that book maybe is kind of unnecessary in the series, because you get to know like the atmosphere and the characters, but if you just add like the backstory of the characters and the characters themselves and the atmosphere like to book 2, that would also be amazing. So I don't know, in my eyes the book is kind of unnecessary, but yeah. Collided by Lauren Asher is book 2 in the Dirty Air series, also a good book, but I don't think about them. Nothing More to Tell. Don't really know what this was about, to be honest. But also, I gave it 4 stars, so it's a good book, but I don't think about them, so also put it here. My leg is hurting, so I'll just have to stretch it for a bit. Then I have Daisy Hates. Yeah, and the thing is, with Daisy Hates, let's just start with Magnolia Parks first. Here's Magnolia Parks. Magnolia Parks is simple choice, not for me. I read this book, I bought the entire series, all in one. I read this book 2 weeks ago. It took me a week to read this book. It is 430 pages, where they are maybe together for 1 chapter. The only thing that they do in the book is break each other's hearts and drag the entire friend group with the drama, if that makes sense. So it was a bit too toxic for me, and it's not really a romance in my eyes, so I'll just put it in not for me. Daisy Hates though, I liked it one better, gave it 3 stars, but I feel like it's not worth my 3 stars, but it's still better than my Magnolia Parks, and Magnolia Parks I rated that 2 stars. So in my head I have to like give that book 3 stars, but it's kind of lower, if that makes sense. I feel like I might get attacked for saying this, but yeah. Sorry. Perfect Marriage, that plot twist was amazing. I did not expect that, but I don't think about them. Maybe, is it just me, but if it's a mystery or a thriller, I don't think about them. maybe sometimes like the Natural series, I still think about them sometimes, but like these standalones, not really. Powerless was my first ever fantasy, and it's amazing. I still have to buy book 2 that just came out like a few days ago. So yeah, just still think about them very often. Just for the Summer is a good book. Didn't hate them, but didn't love it because the female main character was annoying me at some moments, but the male main character made up for it is one perfect man. So I'll just put it there. If We Were Perfect is the last book in the If Love series, and I feel like I might want to lower my rating because I also gave it 3 stars because it was definitely better for me personally than the other books in the series. So I also gave it 3 stars, but I feel like maybe I might want to lower my rating because it was better than the others, but still aren't 3-star energy for me. Betting on You was a good book, nothing special, nothing like, again, a fun, quick, cute read. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score is book 2 in the Knock 'Em Out series. This is book 1, Things We Never Got Over. Let's just start with that one. Things We Never Got Over, I don't think about them, but it was a good book, I think, so I'll just put it there. With Things We Hide from the Light, also put it there, and Things We Left Behind, also put it there, because I don't think about this series. But I don't want to lower my rating because I'm good with the rating that I gave them. I think I gave all of these like 3 stars, which is good, nothing special, but it's good. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Don't want to lower my rating, but it's still nothing special to me. So again, good book, didn't hate but didn't love. Yours Truly is one easy choice. You own my heart. Cannot stop thinking about this. It's amazing. Next book is Night Shift by Annie Crown. Okay. And sadly this book just wasn't for me. I read it. I can see why people like it. Maybe I just don't like reading books about people still in school. I think I like books better if they are about people, like adult people, and like people who work, or like, you know, Swift and Saddled is a good book, but I don't think about them anymore. The same with Done and Dusted. Is this bad that I say this though? Because I feel like I'm being mean. Catherine Center, The Bodyguard, wasn't for me. That's an easy choice. I read it again. I finished it, read it entirely. Yeah, not remarkable for me. Then The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I hoped so hard that I would like this book. And it's a good book. But the female main character was kind of annoying me at some moments. So I'll just put it here. Maybe I'll put it in the other category at the end of the video. I'll see. Hook, Line and Sinker is kind of the same. Like, when I read the first book, I think it's called It Happened One Summer, I thought that I would like Hook, Line and Sinker so much more because, I don't know, the characters had so much potential, but I don't know, still a good book, but it's nothing like remarkable, if that makes sense. Mile High is the same. Like, you get to know the characters and the atmosphere and it's amazing. But I don't think about them anymore. But book 2 in the series, I think about so much. Like, all of the time I think about them. Book 3 the same. Also put it here. But the thing about Caught Up and The Right Move is I think I gave Caught Up like 3 stars. But I still think about them so often that I think to myself, like, why did I give it 3 stars if I think about it so many times? But yeah, so it's right there. Then we have Hopeless. Yeah, easy choice. Own My Heart. Reckless, I think about them, but they don't own my heart as much as the other books do. But they are amazing. Heartless, own my heart. Amazing book. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Whoa, we are doing like 4 books of Elsie Silver back to back. But Wild Love, I think about them so many times. It's not my favorite by Elsie Silver, but it's still an amazing book. So cute. I think I'm going to do a reread soon of this book because, yeah. Then The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. It's a good book, a quick, fun read. So I'll just also put it there. Then Live, Ranch, Love by Emma Lucy. I got an ARC for this book and it's amazing. Cowboy Romances, but he's not really a cowboy, I think, but he is kind of a cowboy. He works on a ranch, so I mean, it's an amazing book. I still think about them so often. I got an ARC, but I am going to buy like the paperback just so I can put it on my shelf because it's amazing and I'm so glad that I got selected to get an ARC. And then next we have Terms and Conditions. Don't own my heart, but I still think about you very often. Let me think if I want to get like rearrange some books. But I don't think so. Maybe it's boring that I put all the books here. I think I'll just leave it at this and hope that I don't get attacked for putting Magnolia Parks on the bottom and put an entire series at the bottom. This was my video and I hope that everything worked out with the screen recording, but we'll see. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and let's talk about the books. Like, what book do you agree with the ranking or not agree with the ranking? Leave it in the comments and we'll talk about this. So yeah, if you liked it, please like, subscribe, share, I don't know, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye!